Sahara Drums, from Kingston to the Nile. Join me, Tap, for a show where you can listen to the vibes of Africa blended with music of the Caribbean, where heritage speaks volumes in the form of music, combined with news, views, and opinions, bringing Africa and the Caribbean culture alive every Sunday at 1 p.m. only on AWAAZ 99.8 FM. See you then. Lou, thank you very much for coming onto the show, and a warm welcome to you.
Thanks, Tap. It's a pleasure to be here. It really is.
Lou, I'm sure the listeners, before we get into the meat of our interview, would like to know who you are, what you represent. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so briefly, my name is Lou Taylor. I've been in Southampton probably for the last 25, 30 years, give or take. I'm an entrepreneur. I've had businesses in the city. I had a company called Lowriders Advertising. So we ran ad bikes in the city for a while. I've also had another company called Streetside Media, which was leaflet distribution. We did that on a very wide scale, right across, from I always say from Exeter to Eastbourne. That's roughly how we ran. I've been a musician. I was a professional musician for quite some time. So I've had studios in the city. Gosh, I've done all kinds of silly things. Anyway. Yes, I was a professional musician for quite a long time, actually. That was what drew me to Southampton. I played in a venue here long time ago called the Top Rank, which some people may or may not know. Right now, I'm the director of Black History Month South CIC, which is a community and just company, and we effectively we facilitate events around Black History Month, and we pop up through the year, and we facilitate events during October. So we have presence through the year, but October is a big one. I'm also a non-executive director at a housing association called ABRI, and the same for Hampshire Constabulary. So I keep myself busy.
Wow, very diverse. It's really interesting to know that the profile of things you do and you enjoy is very diverse. What actually makes you tick? What are you passionate about, especially in the light of a very, very diverse profile of things you do?
I'm passionate about people getting the right deal, the best, okay? I'm passionate about inclusivity, and people talk about diversity. Yes, diversity is one thing, but without inclusion, it's pointless.
Yes.
And I really believe that organizations need to look at themselves to see how they're impacting on their community, okay? And
yes.
And how their policies are impacting on community. That is where I sit. That's what I'm passionate about. You can do things on a local scale, but what I've really wanted to be able to do, and I've worked really hard towards, is getting into a position where I hope I can have a seat at the table when the big decisions are being made that are going to impact people on a large scale. And it's just making sure that when those decisions are people having those discussions, you can put forward maybe a point of view they hadn't quite thought about.
That's what
important. I aim for. That's what I aim for. I'm not there to represent any community. I'm not there to represent people I'm not there saying this is the right thing for the black community, or this is the right thing for the Asian community. I can't say that. I'm there as an individual, but as an individual, I care about how things land for people. I really do. From my own personal experience, I've been up, I've been down, and I know what it's like being in both extremes. So when you're sitting with people who are maybe making decisions that might impact on, I always think of how it's going to impact the person, the most vulnerable in society. That's where I sit.
Wow, Lou, that's very, very valid. It's a very valid point, and also it's a very inspirational and humbling perspective to look at the issues that we experience ourselves in society. One element I'd like to focus the next part of our interview on is the month of October. And Black History Month and what it represents to the society we're in today, and more to the point, what are your views and your take on Black History Month?
So I get asked this fairly frequently because I get challenged on Black History Month. I've had challenges. Most people, or a lot of people, say to me, "Why is there Black History Month and not White History Month? Why does Black History Month need to exist? Why is it only 1 month a year?" All those things come. Now,
Right.
First and foremost, I believe Black History Month is a celebratory time. Okay, it's a time to bring people together. I look at the things that unite us within Black history, because Black history it's everyone's history. It's not exclusive. You cannot have Black history or Black people in history without world history. The political landscape, everything fits together. Now, there has been a tendency within, I think, probably going back a few years, that Black history has started with slavery and ends with Martin Luther King. That's the thought process to some extent. That's what's been pushed. There's so much more. And that is what I believe Black history is all about. It's about bringing out those stories that say, look, listen to this. This is a fantastic little nugget which brings the whole of humanity together. And the one I always bring out, and I bring this out constantly, and we all drive, and many of us drive. In every country, every town, every city, there's something that drives us all crazy. Traffic lights.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Traffic lights are everywhere. They were created by a guy called Garrett Morgan. He was an African American in 1926. He came up with the idea. They're everywhere. But it unites us. It doesn't divide us. It's the one thing that we all experience, and it doesn't matter which country you go to. They are there. And that's one of the things that I try to bring out, to say, look, Black History Month is about unity. It's about bringing people together. It's not about divisions. And that's how I see it.
Lou, I love this, especially some of the analogies you've given. I've learned something today. So, for example, I didn't even know the story behind the traffic lights. And that is a great analogy in terms of unity and inclusiveness in relation to Black History Month. Now, I would also imagine that you've been very, very active in terms of activities that have been taking place to signify Black History Month. Could you share some of that with the listeners?
Yes, so the pandemic has caused us to go take a lot of things online, which is a bit of a shame, really. But so our launch that we had this year, which was on the 29th, I believe, of October, we held our launch, and it was an online virtual launch, which is a bit of a shame because we normally have it in person. That went really well. Following on from that, we've had a few things in person. There's been the unveiling of a plaque at the former West Indian Club, which was in St Mary's. Right. There's a plaque on the wall now, which is just to commemorate the building itself. There is also the unveiling of a plaque of the first Black footballer to play for Southampton, a man called Alf Charles. That was unveiled, I believe, on the 22nd. I've done numerous talks for Brighton University. I've done one for Unison. I've done another one for the fire service, for Surrey Police. So I've been very busy giving talks in and around Black history, as have my colleagues. I know Olu Rowe, one of my colleagues, he was giving a couple of talks recently as well. So all this activity. The one thing I have noticed this year is that there's been a lot of activity around Black History Month across the UK.
Yes, great, yes.
Yeah, it's on TV, wherever you turn at the moment, Black History Month has suddenly taken some kind of relevance. And it's great, because all of a sudden it's not something that has to be, it's Black History Month, shall we do something? And people getting a little bit edgy about it. It's suddenly become a celebration. It suddenly becomes something people want to get involved with, because it's fun.
Yes, and just off the back of what you've just said in terms of the width of which it has had, I can vouch for that. For example, Sky have been running for the whole month different series and different programs and different types of magazines, all related to Black History Month. Which leads me to another point that you have started to allude to, and that is in relation to some of the accolades that go out. You've already mentioned some of the few earlier, but from your perspective, some of the wider accolades across the UK, for instance.
Oh gosh, now you're asking me. I can't call to mind some of the wider accolades, but what I would like to mention is the accolades that we've put out on a local scale. Okay.
Right.
We have what's called our Black History Month South Awards, and this year we gave them to a lady from Southampton called Keisha Edwards, who she's just done. Basically, we give the award every year to people that we feel have put themselves out or given a lot to their community,
right? To
the Black minority community. Okay, and Keisha Edwards is one of the people. A lady. We also gave it to a lady in Basingstoke called Millicent Hilton.
And you've been out. You've done a lot of talks right across Black History Month, even as far up into Surrey. What I'm really interested to know, and I'm sure the listeners would be too, is how has it been embraced? Because it's one thing engaging, but it's another thing in terms of how it's embraced.
Wow, that's an interesting question, actually, Tap. I have found, especially, in this last couple of days, I did a talk for Hampshire Fire and Rescue, embraced hugely, absolutely. Wow. What I'm finding is Black History Month, at one time, people felt that it wasn't inclusive, and I found a lot of white people would say to me, "Oh, it's not for us," you know.
Right.
I think with the advent of Black Lives Matters last year,
yes,
and the talk about allyship, what I'm seeing is people are starting to want to engage with it. They've suddenly decided, actually, no, I need to be part of this.
It's for all of us, right?
It's for all of us.
Yes.
And I am seeing that. I'm seeing that it's being embraced, and it's heartwarming. The initiatives that I'm seeing, that people are just getting involved, and it's white, black, doesn't matter where anybody's coming from.
That's right.
I'm seeing such a wide range of people wishing to get involved with Black History Month, and the reason being is you cannot get rid of racism without allies. It requires all of us to get involved in this,
yes.
Especially in the environment that we live in, because we're living in a predominantly white community. So if you want to deal head on with racism, right, you can't do it without allies.
That's right.
You have to have a majority of the white population on understanding and actually dealing with it directly, because we can't do it on our own.
That's right.
There are so many organizations where I am literally the only black face.
Right.
I'm hoping that I'm the vanguard.
Yes.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yes.
But you need the people around you to sort of say, yeah, okay, we've got Luz here. We need another 5 people with that same, with the same kind of. In fact, we don't even need another 5 people like me. You just need to be open.
Yes.
Your mind to be open.
It's a mindset thing.
Yes, your mind to be open to whoever is coming through your door.
Right.
And not looking for somebody who just looks like you.
Yes.
That's the answer.
Lou, I'm really pleased that you put it across the way you have put it, in terms of the inclusiveness, in terms of it's for everyone, it relates to everyone, and in terms of allies, in terms of let's all participate and let's all make this positive. And this is inspiring to hear. So, which leads me to my next question, in terms of, it's not only about the month of October. This goes beyond and further on into the future. what next from your perspective in relation to your activities? What do you have over the horizon?
Okay, so as in what's coming up through this through the next year or so?
Yes.
Okay, so although Black History Month is in October, I like to have different spikes through the year. The next thing we have coming up, which I'm hoping will be running through November and December, is we've got some funding to raise the awareness of prostate cancer in black men.
Wow.
Because the actual incidence, as a black man, you are 6 times more likely to develop prostate cancer than your white compadres.
Right.
Okay?
That is high.
It's really high.
Yes.
But the other thing is that black men present to their doctors really late on.
Right.
Therefore, the prognosis is far worse. So it's if you present early and you get checked, then actually the prognosis is pretty much it is curable. Say curable, they can deal with it.
Yes.
Fairly readily. But if you present late and it's already entered into your system and it's spread across your body, the prognosis is quite poor. What we want to do, we've got the funding, and what we want to do is start raising that awareness, putting a campaign out to say, look, don't hesitate, just go and get checked. I think I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think it's cultural. I think because the digital exam is something that a lot of black men would think, oh, I'm not doing that, it's not for me. Actually, it can save your life.
That's right.
It's a very simple thing,
yes.
And it can save your life. And I think the younger generation, they're not going to have a problem with it.
Right.
I think that it's just, at the moment, the people who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, it's cultural. Okay,
right, yes.
We come out of that time when it's just not something you do, man. We keep away from it.
It's not macho.
It's not macho. It's just don't go there. But it will save your life.
That's right.
And it's a tiny little thing. And the trouble is, if you leave it too long, and you leave it too late, the treatment is so much worse.
Yes.
And the prognosis, you could find yourself losing your life in your mid-60s. It's the last thing anybody wants.
Right.
Yes. We all want to live a long life, 70s, 80s, 90s, God willing. But to be honest, if it catches you, it's bad news.
So in other words, what you are saying is, with the advancement of medicine and technology, they are quicker and more friendlier ways to have prostate cancer checked that we should be taking advantage of.
Yes, and the treatment is there. The treatment is there. Prostate cancer is there are various types, but if it's one of the very progressive forms of prostate cancer, it will kill you. There is no getting away from it. But yes. Most men, in general, will develop prostate cancer, but it's so slow growing
yes.
that you die with it.
Yes.
Yeah, as it doesn't kill you,
yes.
You might be 85
right.
and you die from something else.
That's right.
But there is a much more aggressive form which will actually attack your body. And it is only getting a simple check. The straightforward check is it's called a PSA check. That is a blood test.
Right.
It's a straightforward blood test.
Okay.
You just go to your doctor, get the PSA. If your PSA is high, you go into further checks. But most people can go for a blood test. I mean, especially now when we're all used to having vaccinations, unless you're absolutely needle phobic, which for some
That's
people
right.
they are.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's just worth taking that time.
That you raise a very, 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 very good point in terms of the PSA is a blood test, so it's very accessible.
Yes.
So, in other words, the way I look at it is there is no excuse really to have these checks done, and we should be at the fore so that we don't suffer from this.
Absolutely. And the other thing that I find that I had to educate my doctor going back a few years. I went to see him. I told him about that I wanted a PSA, and he said, "Why?"
Ah, right. Yeah.
And I said, "Well, the incidence of prostate cancer for people from West Africa and for the Caribbean is really high.
Right.
And he had no idea. And he didn't want to give me the test, okay? Because of, obviously there's a cost attached.
Right.
Now, once I'd explained it to him, to be fair, I left. I didn't get the test. I got a letter 2 or 3 days later saying, I apologize, please come and see me. I've done some research. Come and see me straight away. We'll sort it out.
Right.
So there's, you should not be shy in speaking about this. And if your doctor's resistant, well, give him the information and be a bit more insistent, because it can save your life. Okay. And a PSA test, yes, of course, there's a cost attached, but
in the grand scheme
of things, it's a much lower cost than dealing with somebody who has developed cancer.
Yes. Very, very insightful, Lou.
An initiative that's been brought through from people like Don John and a lady called Marie Costa and various other people within the community in Southampton is a Black History Archive.
Oh, right. Okay.
Now, the Black History Archive, at the moment, it's going to be a digital archive. It's being supported by Southampton University, Vivid Housing Association, Abri Housing Association, John Hansard Gallery, Southampton City Council. We've got
some big names behind it.
Yeah, we've got some very big names.
Oh, that's great. Because it must be also very gratifying to see people who have worked so hard in whichever field they've been working in to be the recipients of such awards.
Yeah, I like to make it a surprise if I can. It's my favourite part of the year. It's when we do it live. The hard part this year is that we've had to record. So we went to Millicent's home, Millicent Hilton. We went to her home and we recorded giving her the award. And we did the same with Gideon Angerfor. And that was really good fun, but it doesn't really have the same feel as giving it out to the person live. And we managed to do that with Keisha Edwards. She came along to our launch, and where it was being filmed, we managed to be able to present it to her live, and that's what it's all about, really. Yes. And people deserve the recognition, for the time that they put in, the effort they put in, which everyone does these things for their community, and they do it because they want to, not because somebody's driving them, not because somebody's paying them, because they choose to. And I think giving recognition to people who are giving up their time just because they want to help others, I think that absolutely deserves a level of recognition.
I fully agree, absolutely. Lou, moving on to a lighter note, surely in your free time you, like most of us, enjoy music and probably watch movies as well, like most of us do. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? Oh, that's a difficult one. I have a few, okay? So
let's go through them.
Okay. Training Day, Denzel Washington. That's up there, straight away.
Yes.
Then we go to Goodfellas.
Oh, right. Yes.
Because I love my gangster movies.
Yes.
Casino. And Heat.
Right. Heat.
That is one hell of a film. It's one of the best heist films that you'll see. And if I have to, my go-to films will always be sort of gangster movies and that kind of stuff. I think those are the ones I go to, definitely. But Training Day and American Gangster, because I'm a Denzel Washington fan.
Right.
He's just a great actor, and the films just keep you on the edge of your seat.
That's right.
So really
yes.
Cool.
Yes. And he's got very good range, hasn't he?
Oh, he has.
Yes.
Yeah, he really has. And what I like about him is he's one of these people who, when you see him in interview, he's very practical. And I think where he's been a star for such a long time, he doesn't hold back anymore. He's not scared about his position anymore. He's not climbing the greasy pole. He's at the top of the pole.
Yeah.
So he can actually speak freely, and I quite like that. And so my favorite quote from Denzel Washington is, if you don't read the newspapers, you're uninformed.
Yes.
If you do read the newspapers, you're misinformed.
Ah, right. Yes.
So that's definitely my favorite quote from Denzel Washington.
And moving on to music. Yeah. I'm a big music fan, and I'm curious to see what genre of music you're into and what your favorite song of all time is.
Okay, so I was a professional musician, so I was a professional bass player for many, many years, and still dabble in and out of the music industry. But I listen to a lot. I have a wide range of music I listen to. But my go-to song, I think, that lifts my spirit every single time is Earth, Wind and Fire, September.
Wow.
Because it's one of those tunes I can't get away from. It makes me smile, makes me want to dance. It just lifts me up, and it's never stopped. From the first time I heard it till now, I will always play that song. If I want to lift myself up, Earth, Wind and Fire, September, every single time, because the intro is just, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
September it is. Lou, thank you very much, and I'm sure this is not the last time we're going to have you on the show. It's really great that you have been our first guest on the show, and I look forward, and I'm sure the listeners also look forward to listening to you again at a later stage.
Well,
Thank you very much.
It's been a real pleasure. It really has been a pleasure chatting to you, and thanks for inviting me onto the show.
Thank you.
Chasing the clouds. Jerusalem, ikayalami, ngilondoloze, ambenami, zungangishilana. Jerusalem, ikayalami, ngilondoloze, ambenami, zungangishilana. Oluwabona, I'm not perfect, I came from ruthless times as a juvenile. Ngilondoloze, zungangishilana. Look into my eyes, see pain and sacrifice. What's goes on my mind, trying to survive. Ngilondoloze, zungangishilana. Tomaka ema wuru, oti wuru si wuru. Emi won wa mi ni gboro, toju ko oju o. Mi ani teji soro, time si mi solo. Lati ikoro si gboro, down to Ikorodu.
Dawoyami, aikolana, buso wami, aukolana. Kilondolose, zuhambena. Dawoyami, aikolana, buso wami, aukolana. Kilondolose,
Jerusalem, ikayalami, ngilondoloze, ambenami, zungangishilana. Jerusalem, ikayalami, ngilondoloze, ambenami, zungangishilana. Oluwabona, I'm not perfect, I came from ruthless times as a juvenile. Ilondoloze, zungangishilana. Tomaka ema wuru, oti wuru si wuru. Emi won wa mi ni gboro, toju ko oju o. Mi ani teji soro, time si mi solo. Lati ikoro si gboro, down to Ikorodu.
Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Dawoyami, aikolana, buso wami, aukolana. Ilondoloze, zuhambe nami.
That was Master KG a very, very popular and lively song, Jerusalem. And now we're going to have a little bit of fun. So what I would like you to do is, if you've got your phones close by and a pen and paper, please record and write down our WhatsApp line, which is 077 84691440. 077 84691440. So that's our WhatsApp line, and we're going to have a bit of fun. So we're going to get into a bit of a sporting teaser, a nice, fun, sporting brain teaser. So right across the Caribbean, the most popular sport is soccer. However, cricket is also popular in certain countries within the Caribbean. First part of the brain teaser is, which name is given to the collective cricket team in the Caribbean? Which name is given to the collective cricket team in the Caribbean? And secondly, a little bit harder, which are the countries, how many countries form this collective cricket name within the Caribbean? So you can put your answers through to the WhatsApp line, and the number is 077 84691440. And now we're going to go into another lively track, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. And
the girl them sugar they ya, girl a buck up and a turn over whole filler they ya. Them teddy bear them fluffy pillar stretch like a rubber. Me they ya feel me Cinderella of far me ya come from Pitelia. Girl you have the right body, the right face. Love it when you whine for me, the right ways. Me love how you work it, me love how you moving your body. Stick on my body like tape, open up wide for me like gate. Me love how you work it, love how you moving your body. Girl, are you the DJ? Now stop mention. Sugar daddy said them want give you them pension. When she whine, she not stop, draw pay attention. When she brace for me feel attention. Girl shock when me show her the extension. Yeah, you know we're in a me intention. Love how you bouncing, what a suspension. You are God best invention. Girl, you have the right body, the right face. Love it when you whine for me, the right ways. Me love how you work it, me love how you moving your body. Stick on my body like tape, open up wide for me like gate. Me love how you work it, love how you moving your body. Yo, you slim like people in starvation. If broad can't even put on apron. Love how God make you what a carvation. Face pretty like flowers, carnation. Come together with the king girl coronation. Make me give you something for your go and brace band. Me love how you wine from the tall great man. Me I beg you some, no, I'm now wait. Girl, you have the right body, the right face. Love it when you wine for me, the right ways. Me love how you work it, me love how you moving your body. Stick on my body like tape, open up wide for me like gate. Me love how you work it, love how you moving your body. You exercise every day, you stay fit. Love it when you bend over and brace it. Face pretty like UFO spaceship. Me want park me trailer so open up your gate. Me a work until me waist quick. You a work, you don't know when name quit. Me make she bounce, she now fi fake it. Shake it, take out me phone, what a great bit. Girl, you have the right body, the right face. Love it when you whine for me, the right ways. Me love how you work it, me love how you moving your body. Stick on my body like tape, open up wide for me like gate. Me love how you work it, love how you moving your body. The girl them sugar they ya, girl a buck up and a turn over whole filler they ya. Them teddy bear them fluffy pillar stretch like a rubber. Me they ya feel me Cinderella of far me ya come from Pitelia. Girl you have the right body, the right face. Love it when you whine for me, the right ways. Me love how you work it, me love how you moving your body.
Right, so just going back to our brain teaser, We still haven't got any responses, so if you would like to join in the fun and send us through your responses, the WhatsApp line is 07784 691 440. WhatsApp line is 07784 691 440. And now we'll go into another track, and this is a salsa track.
Ay, por el camino del sitio mío, un carretero alegre pasó. En tu tonada, que es mi guaira, que es mi sentir alegre canto. Descarga la careta, me voy a la trovador, a descargar la careta, para llegar a la meta, yo pipo un salabo. A caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte. Un carretero alegre pasó. En tu tonada, que es mi guajira, que es mi sentir alegre canto. Soy guajira y carretero, y en el campo vivo bien. Soy guajira y carretero, y en el campo vivo bien. Porque el campo se le ve más lindo que el mundo entero. A caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte. African salsa molendi nuyu. Si sento, así ser santa. African salsa nuyu nele. Ganyi deglule. Salsa.
great track. That was Papeful, and he's from Dakar in Senegal. A very, very, very popular musician, and his salsa music, for any of those that are interested, is very, very exciting and lovely to dance to as well. So I've got a response on the brain teaser from the Caribbean, and Elwin from Bristol has named the team as the West Indies. That's right, it's the West Indies, and he has taken a bit of a stab in terms of how many countries make up the West Indies cricket team, and there are a collection of countries that he has come up with, and he believes there are about 12 Caribbean nations. It's a bit on the high side. It's not as many as 12. So I'll give you one more chance, and we'll go into next track, and then we'll see your responses after this. Gets the answer for the brain teaser.
Yeah. 2-2 imminent. Bush loader. Ready, man? Yeah. Excuse me, no pagans. Now seek validation. Toast and admiration from you nor your patrons. Boasting about name brands. We cost over 8 grand. When me searching up the same one for the cost of a straight pants. Why own a Ferrari with nowhere to park it, boy? Why shop a Louis V when there is a target? Now me hype on my face it. True minds me a save it. Them go fend if it trendy. Bank account can't empty. Broke acres over markets. Link me wife when me want sex. Cause when side girl breed up, child support that lead to farming over plastic. Investment over profit. Right now. Inheritance for me seeds off. Me alright being mean. Yo, if you are 50 and never make a brings get used, means you're poor so your kids next to employment you use as a big excuse. You want him grow so him get through. See him 24 hours so why you have to. When your kids do good you buy them jewels. Wang and Rajiv buy their own tools to keep getting wealthy. Big when I sell on more piece. Nobody watch how me clocks lean. So start supply Walgreens. Stocks large when the plant trees. Them fields them out of burger go put no mummer. You and you, sir. And it's a baker me bill from a buller. Send me a dispensary, supplying them with wooders. Acres over markets. Link me wife when me want sex. Cause when side girl breed up, child support that lead to farming over plastic. Investment over profit. Inheritance for me seeds off. Me alright being mean. Do the earth tempting. Still watch how me spending. Budget 9 coat 12 coat kid. Millions when them get big. Build up a ranch and rent it. Ground produce must plenty. Ice party vending. Each bag cost empty. Partner draw me fix mine. Invest back in a Bitcoin. Blockchain virtual gold. Demands inflate in time. Invest in my merch. Give back to which church? Pastor go look a work. Grab my farm then a dirt. Acres over markets. Link me wife when me want sex. Cause when side girl breed up, child support that lead to farming over plastic. Investment over profit. Inheritance for me seeds off. Me alright being mean. Marlon just did that, hear that? Afro boy. What's music? Bototo. Bush.
By Yaksta. Nice, cool, mellow chat track. So we're just to let you know, we're also streaming live on Facebook. So please do go to our Facebook page, the AWAAZ Southampton Facebook page, and you can also listen to the show there as well if you so wish. Okay, now going back to our brain teaser, the West Indies internationally are the group of Caribbean countries that play cricket, and the countries that make up the West Indies are as follows: Barbados, Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Leeward Islands, and Windward Islands. So there are 6 countries that make up the West Indies that play both one-day international and test cricket. Another interesting fact around cricket in the West Indies is the game was formally started in the 1880s, and the countries got together touring the United States and Canada. And just a small little trivia fact, the last international one-day game was played on the 26th of July this year at the Kingston Oval in Bridgetown, Barbados. So 6 countries making up the West Indies cricket team, and we'll now go into a song that definitely needs no introduction. And now we're going to have a quick word from our sponsors.
You're listening to AWAAZ FM's new service on 99.8 megahertz. In your car, in your kitchen, on your AI device, on DAB, and on the internet. The new AWAAZ is here. AWAAZ FM on 99.8.
Thanks for tuning in to your local community radio station. We're one of 250 similar stations across the UK, each one serving a specific area every day of the year. And when you advertise your business on community radio, you're talking to people round here. And your money stays round here too, helping us to continue broadcasting. Find out more through the radio station website and keep listening to hear more of what makes us unique. Community radio, we're all about here. Thanks for tuning in to your local community radio station. We're one of 250 similar stations across the UK, each one serving a specific area every day of the year. And when you advertise your business on community radio, you're talking to people round here. And your money stays round here too, helping us to continue broadcasting. Find out more through the radio station website and keep listening to hear more of what makes us unique. Community radio, we're all about here.
So earlier on we heard a song that required no introduction, very popular Bob Marley song, Jammin'. We'll go into another track before we have our next brain teaser and we carry on with the fun on the station and get you as the listeners involved. So here we go into another track that leaves very little introduction.
If you call a woman African woman, no go gree. She go say, I be lady yo. If you call a woman African woman, no go gree. She go say, I be lady yo. If you call a woman African woman, no go gree. She go say, I be lady yo. She go say, I be lady. She go say, I be lady yo. She go say, I no be woman. She go say, I be lady yo. She go say, my cat woman na woman. She go say, I be lady yo. She go say, my cat woman na woman. She go say, I be lady yo. She go say, my cat woman na woman. She go say, I be lady yo. She go say, I be lady. She go say, I be lady yo. She go say, I be lady. She go say, I be lady yo. She go say, I be lady. She go say, I be lady yo. I want to tell you about lady. I want to tell you about lady. I want to tell you about lady. She go say him equal to man. She go say him get power like man. She go say anything man do himself fit do. She go say him equal to man. She go say him get power like man. She go say anything man do himself fit do. I never tell you finish. 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 I never tell you. She go on take cigar before anybody. She go on make you open door for She go on make him man wash break for for kitchen. She want salute man, she go sit down for share. She want salute man, she go sit down for share.
Alright, so that is Fela, who is playing in the background, and this leads us straight on to our next teaser. This is a bit of an easy one. So, which is the longest river in Africa? So once again, which is the longest river in Africa? And if you could come back to our WhatsApp line and put your answers through, and we have some fun, and let's see who gets the answer. So once again, the number is 077 84691 440. 077 84691 440.
But lady not be so. But lady not be so. But lady not be so. Lady na master. Lady na master. Lady na master. Call 'em for dance. She go dance, lady dance. Call 'em for dance. She go dance, lady dance. African woman go dance. She go dance the fire dance. African woman go dance. She go dance the fire dance. She know him man a master. She go cook for him. She go do anything he say. But lady not be so. 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 Lady na master. Lady na master. Lady na master. Lady na master. If you call a woman African woman, no go Greek. She go say. She go say I be lady. She go say I be lady.
So that's Fela with a song called Lady. And now we're getting some responses coming through on WhatsApp. So let's have a look and see. So the longest river in Africa, the Nile. And that came from Noel. And yes, it is the longest river in Africa. Actually, at one stage, it was disputed whether the Nile was the longest river in the world. But after further measurements, it was then later settled on that the Amazon is actually the longest river in the world, so therefore making the Nile the second longest river. The Nile flows through from North Africa, right straight through into Egypt and into the Mediterranean Sea. And it's 6,693 kilometers long. It goes through 6 cities, and those 6 cities are Cairo, Aswan, Giza, Khartoum, Jinja, and Juba. And it spans, and 5 bridges span over the river Nile. In addition to that, I've got another brain teaser, and this relates to the hottest place in the world. So which is the hottest place in the world, which leads us into another track.
Aspect amabhonas namabhebheka zubafumbathisana ejaldini for abashali nabafethendlini kazubaphakelana eplatini waza sibona saba vele siphetha amagigi sikuphe mavele sebenza kanzima cabanga ukuthi shahlanya siqhopha ngesigubhu but bekele uyazuma babuza ukuthi uzokubeka le enonke nophakathi kini nonke niphelele awuhleva zakuhlala uyazi ihleva kana kuba baba buthi kwa Level bari kumtele vonde refer Zatsanza mkoge vonde Ingelili nkome jalkin Ihlahla sanyakaza manje Sesiphelile isikhathi sokutabalaza Ukuthi ndoda nendodile ndikhayalan Ibetop Sokotile Manje abantwana bakhethile Isibanda nasiphelile manje Wonke umuntu ujimile Isibanda naso siphelile Abantwana bahle bakhezile Ubantsweni uyakutshela bosophukile Wonke umuntu ujimile Isibanda naso siphelile Abantwana bahle Yakutshela bosoqhubile Oza Friday Tuthima kulomhlaba Night Christmas umsebenzi upholile Oza Friday phina yena kuyachaba Ozo chayimela hlale wasisoqinile Oza Friday Tuthima kulomhlaba Night Christmas umsebenzi upholile Oza Friday phina yena kuyachaba Ozo chayimela hlale wasisoqinile Hey wena bhala Wamusha umntu uzokhala Awubona isiplome necoca-cola Awuna flop uzosala Hey wena sithipha sokubhaka Wamusha umntu wengwaza Umuntu namhlanje sukuthi nasenso jive ile ndaba yakudala ingakhona manje ngiphinde yakudala uphethuma babuthi levale wonke umuntu uyazukuthi isikhokho lesidala sisikhanda cabangela uDisemba nabantwana bakho prostanise zonke isikhala sakho ukuthi zonke izinto zibe mnandi ngoba uyazi ukuthi dala sisipusha Disemba wonke umuntu uvukile mandela naso siphelile abantwana bakhe bagezi awubantwe ngiyakutshela boss uvukile wonke umuntu ujimile mandela naso siphelile abantwana bakhe bagezi awubantwe ngiyashwela boss uvukile Oza Friday kunzima kulomhlaba Christmas umsebenzi upholile Oza Friday phina yena kuyachaba Ozo jive lahlale wasisoqinile Oza Friday kunzima kulomhlaba Christmas umsebenzi upholile Oza Friday phina yena kuyachaba Ozo jive lahlale wasisoqinile naso siphelile abantwana bahle bagezile ubantwe uyakutshela boss uvukile wonke umuntu ujimile isibandana naso siphelile abantwana bahle bagezile ubantwe uyakutshela boss uvukile Oza Friday kunzima kulomhlaba Christmas umsebenzi upholile Oza Friday phina yena kuyachaba Ozo jive lahlale wasisoqinile Oza Friday kunzima kulomhlaba Christmas umsebenzi upholile Oza Friday phina yena kuyachaba Ozo jive lahlale wasisoqinile
Right, and we've got some messages coming through on the WhatsApp line. So thank you very much from Noel in Cambridge. He's just sent a WhatsApp message saying he's enjoying the show, a very, very nice compilation of African and Caribbean music. So thank you very much, Noel, and we hope to keep up the good work here at AWAAZ. So please do stay tuned in and enjoy the show. Right, we're probably getting towards the end of the show. I probably will be able to squeeze in one more track, and the track we're going to squeeze in at the moment is a track from Sade.